A very good afternoon to you traders. Mark here from TheDayTradingRoom. Time is 5 London time on a Saturday afternoon. Just going to spend a few minutes, or have spent a few minutes reviewing trades, levels, usual bits and pieces. Promise I'm going to make this video short. I am going to make this a 5-minute video. No one wants to hear me rambling on for 20 minutes on an Easter weekend. So, TradeStation is just reconnecting itself. I'm sure they're doing all sorts of maintenance work and bits and pieces. So this is what I want to talk about in crude oil. I'm going to quickly, very quickly. I'm sure I can fit this in the 5 minutes. A non-farm payroll trade. Hope you guys got this. Wasn't really expecting it, but nice bonus nevertheless. It's the reprice trade. If you look at the videos, you know, same old sort of thing. The push down, the pullback, and the likelihood of revisiting that low, especially when you get such a shallow pullback and such a good reprice, is quite high. Now it was a bit different on Friday because the book was very thin. You know, it was a holiday trade. I wasn't even in the office. I was at home watching at home. And with the book being thin, it was a very small trade for me. Very small trade. Didn't want to be started working ridiculous size positions relative to what you could get in and out of with a few ticks on the way, and that'd just be silly. But it was a nice trade, and it's good to see those back. I really hope we get some more of those sort of reprice pullback trades. I feel like I haven't talked about them enough, and that's literally because they're not there. Right, crude oil. I'm going to go straight in to pointing out the pattern that I've spotted, and if you're trading it, you may well have spotted it also. But very quickly revisit what happened. We talked about in the video a few weeks ago, which was on the 60-minute good key level 104.30, and I talked about trading that break, the consolidation, and then the further drive lower. We actually got a very similar pattern. This is the level I'm talking about now. Quickly get the drawing pen out. Bang, and this was the level we talked about. When it broke, looking for some consolidation. That's part of your trade plan. Well, it's part of my trade plan, and if that's your sort of setup, it should be part of yours too. Being aware of those levels and being ready for that. So let's go straight to that. It was a 102. Let's remind myself where that level was. 102.33. Probably a little bit lower. Let's say the 25, something like that. Anyway, I got it drawn in. We'll call it the 27. You know that support and resistance lines, guys, are normally, you know, you can't pinpoint them most of the time exactly to the tick. So give them a little bit of room. You know, just give it a little bit of leeway. Right, it's the same sort of trade. It's the same sort of trade. The push through, the consolidation, and the break lower. Now, okay, that was a great trade. Worked out well. What did I want to point out? Okay, what do you notice here? The first flush, the fake, the pullback above the high, try again, and the roll. Crude is doing this a lot. It's doing this. Push down or push up, consolidate, fake or probe. May not necessarily fake, just probe. Sometimes it will probe above that swing high and then it will go. Okay, and also, don't normally talk about indicators. The 20 period moving average is being a nice little guide at the moment for crude oil. You may have heard what my feelings on indicators are. You know, I don't mind people using them. I don't use them myself very often. But if you've got a setup and you want to use a tool to help guide your setup, by all means. But I just don't agree with people putting them on and then looking for a setup based on what the indicator's showing you. So that's a nice little trade there. And be aware with crude oil, do not chase it. Chasing it is when it gets you into trouble. So the idea is on this setup is to wait for the second probe or second push, the pullback, and try and get some in as it starts to push up. So that's what I did on that one. Worked very nicely, rolled over. It doesn't matter because you can take your risk off the table. Your stop's 20 cents above there. You've taken 30 cents off the table. Whatever happens now, you can manage it, and it can turn out into a very nice trade. Again, to the upside, a very similar sort of thing we had. The push up. Okay, this is not quite a surprise move as the other, but it's the push up, the second push up, the little probe lower. We have this consolidation here. Quickly get the drawing pen out. Pressing the wrong button. Get the drawing pen out. This is the consolidation. But this probe under here just gave us a chance to get in on that. Nice, pushed up, and it didn't quite work out. I didn't get the explosion we needed, but the tape really started to slow down there. So even if you had, you're scaling out into that, as it started to roll off, you've got no reason really as it starts to come down here to be holding down into here. So however that is traded, it's a nice little trade. And very quickly, you forgive me if I go over by 30 seconds, I'm going to compare it to this probe that I was talking about. As I talked about these last week, if I can find it, Okay, I talked about these last week in the video, but look at the similar patterns, guys. Okay, so look out for these next week. If you're a crude oil trader, first of all, manage risk. Very important to manage risk. No investment advice, all that usual good stuff. But this is what I'm looking out for. The first probe, the second probe, the trade's activated in terms of now I'm looking for the trade. Not I'm going to take the trade, but I'm looking for it. In other words, take the guard off the trigger. Imagine it's a missile. Take the guard off the trigger. First push, second push, pull back. Got a 20 period to guide us. Why not? Let's use it. Let's use it. If it's working, let's use it. Look how many times it tagged it and rolled over. Didn't quite tag it on that, but you can use it as a guide. Point is, the probe, the pullback, the fake out above the flag, and then roll over. The probe, there's one, there's two, there's the fake out, there's your entry, moving averages guiding you, bang, lovely little meaty trade. So look out for that. The probe, the second push, the probe, I keep saying probe, but you know what I mean, the fake above the flag, and then the roll over, and same to the upside. So I've gone over by a minute. I promised you 5, I've done 6 minutes. Hey, I'm sure you forgive me. Good trading, guys. Please keep risk managed. Enjoy your Easter weekend. Looking forward to some great opportunities next week. The market's spicing up, got some good levels out there now, especially the non-farm payrolls on Friday. Crude oil continues to offer opportunities to the upside and downside. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at TapeReadTrade. Just starting to get into that a little bit more, just starting to sort of talk about my little when I remember trade ideas, trade plans, and you know what I'm looking for, sort of levels and stuff. I don't always remember to use it, but I want to start using it a little bit more because I quite like the idea of it. So at TapeReadTrade, or you can go to the blog, and I think you can click on a link there and it will automatically follow you if you're not on Twitter already. And there's also a little widget on the right there that shows you my recent tweets. So good trading, guys. Keep the risk managed. Enjoy your Easter weekend, and I shall be back in another video later in the week.